Alright, I promise you, you're not going to catch me doing too many more Mullen videos, but I just realized I gotta explain why Mullen is a guaranteed short squeeze right now, no matter what. No matter what. So, I can promise you that what we're hearing from people on Twitter who are talking to David Mitchery directly, when he's saying that the lawyers are on the business call about the reverse split, demanding a 50 to 1 split or 100 to 1 split, and like they're yelling at him and screaming at him, telling him he's crazy for talking about a 9 to 1 split, and that's unreasonable, and that only gets him to barely a dollar, and like he can't stand bet his whole company on just going to a dollar. He has to do a bigger reverse split, yada yada yada. And he says, no, the people don't want it. I want to do this for the people. And he makes it sound like he's gonna vote for the 9 to 1, and he might get voted out. I think we can stand behind him and hold strong and make sure he doesn't get voted out or get him voted back in after, because here's the deal. Here's what they haven't told you, and here's what I know that nobody else knows, why I know Mullen is a guaranteed short squeeze. Last time, when I thought it was a guaranteed short squeeze, we had 200 million shares as retail. I didn't start pumping until like a week before they announced it, but I already could tell it was happening just by doing the billion shares of traded volume and seeing the stock price go up 200%, then down 75%. Like, I saw exactly what was happening. Seeing the CEO come on and pump to 10,000 people that his stock is great stock, and I just knew what was happening. And so what I wasn't prepared for, and what I never seen before, and what has never happened before, is that before we got to 250 million shares, they announced a vote, and they created the record date before they sold 51% of their company. And so we didn't win the vote, and we lost it 51% to 49% 3 months later after we owned almost all 500 million shares. But that vote allowed them to go another 750 million shares or more. And then they used those votes to go and get another vote of another 3 billion shares. And so they have a total of 5.5 billion shares, but after a reverse split, they took 3.7 billion all the way down to 150 million. And then they announced on the record date of like early June for the reverse split vote that happened this time, that the number of outstanding shares was 650 million, which means retail bought roughly 500 million shares. And so they only had 1.8 billion left to dilute from the time that they did the reverse split, and they announced there's 3.7 billion outstanding. That dropped to 150 million. And so if you take that 1.8 billion and you minus the 500 million that we already bought from the record date of early June, then that shows that they only have 1.3 billion shares left. And now the big thing is that since the last update of the 650 million outstanding shares, there has been roughly 12 billion shares traded over the last maybe 40 trading days. And of those of the 12 billion shares, if you just look back in history, we usually dilute at like a 7 to 8% range, which means they only have, like, in that math, 3 to 400 million more shares. But like, it's very possible that we could have been diluting at 10% range, and they only have 100 million shares. And so already, if they reverse split and they only have 400 million shares, we're in a 10 times more powerful state than we were when we squeezed with AMC from $12 to $72. So, I mean, you should be looking at 60x minimum on your money. But because we're starting out more powerful, our gains are more powerful. That's how it works. If you pull the rocket launcher back further, then it shoots the rocket further. That's how it works. And so, here's the deal. Because I know that we've traded 12 billion shares, and I know that we own a billion shares right now, maybe 900 million, whatever, and I know that we own the majority of the stock, even if they announced a new vote today for more shares to dilute in the future, retail owns the shares by record date this time, because they can't backdate a record date. And if they make the record date today, we win the vote. Any vote in the future, we win. If you want to put a vote on the thing, that like all you have to do is write it up, submit it, prove that you're a shareholder, and it will be on the next proposal. You might have to hire a lawyer to submit it for you, but like legit $2,000 and you can have your vote on the next proposal. And every single good vote here on out, retail owns the stock, we own the vote. Like, if you think you can write a thing that makes sense, like, I swear to God, if you write something to get rid of David Mitchery, you and I are going to have problems. But outside of that, like, go shoot for the moon, bruh. Anything you can get the people to vote for is yours. We own the stock. I mean, we might not own the stock someday after it squeezes 1,000x and we sell and we're like, you know what, we'll take profits and go start our own company or something. But like, that's all debatable, because like retail only keeps buying the more it goes up, and so more and more people will be joining in the more you sell. So I don't know, like, I really hope this is the MOAS.